I think we're streaming. Let's see what I can get going here. Think we're streaming. Let's see what I can get going here. Think we're streaming. Sorry guys, I'm just meddling with this stuff a little bit. Telling this not to record my desktop audio for a sec. That just died? Here we go. Inactive. Oh my god, yes, I am here, Nico. I am, after months of being inactive. Sorry if my sound is all messed up. I am still trying to fix this all up. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Hopefully that's loud enough. Now I'm gonna make that like 75. For some dumb reason, it was taking my webcam. Say hello to Super Chat. Sorry, I haven't done like YouTube streaming in forever. I've been doing Twitch a bit lately just for fun, but I figured I would come over to YouTube and see you guys that have been like, you know, waiting for something RWBY related. And I'm gonna be quite honest, I really don't have anything made. I probably won't have anything made for a while because, as I said in the last video, time constraints and that. So I figured I'd come here and whoever just asks me questions about what I thought about like the season finale and that, I'll answer them since I don't have really anything written or edited or anything like that. I felt like I need to at least do something to kind of give some finalization on the series of videos that I used to do. Like at least say something about the season finale and that. We got 7 viewers already. Wow, you guys are like flowing in real fast. That's awesome. That is great. I'm just trying to find some of my old notes from when I was watching the season finale. And that's so I can remember what to say. Hello, Dimitri. Chris, nice to see you too. Test. Kiraka, I see you. Ember, I see you. I see you. I don't hear you, but well, it's a one-way thing with streams like this, isn't it? Hey, how's everybody doing? How did everybody enjoy the season finale of RWBY? Has anyone seen the DLC that they now have? That's kind of what got me actually into thinking of doing this. I got an email from Steam saying that they added DLC to RWBY Grim Eclipse. It's like the dance uniforms and the school uniforms. I know it's a ghost. Ooh, I am the ghost of Pyrrha's past. Oh, too soon. That still hurt. That still hurt a little. It was awesome. Yes. 10 out of 10 the finale. Yes, I have to agree 100%. The oh god, just everything about it. I'm just trying to hunt down some of my notes because, like, I gotta say, mainly for that ending, the Knuckleave, the horseman Grim at the very end. Oh god, that was brilliant. But I gotta wait for a few more people to get into chat. We got 12 people watching already. That's amazing. Before I get right into my thoughts on that, because this is the way it's gonna be for you guys that are here now. I'm not doing the whole like sort of big like production with all the video in the background and that. I'm sorry, I don't have the time for it anymore. Uh, for good reasons. For good reasons. As I said in the other video, I've been given opportunities at work, and it just means I don't have time to like write and produce and all that stuff that I used to. But I still kind of want to talk about stuff, so I'm just trying to fit this in wherever I can. That was a good backstory on Rin, which was nice. Yes. Oh my god, the whole backstory on everybody there, like the on Ren. Don't put weird things in the prompter. He'll read anything that goes into the prompter. Yes. Ren. Why did I say that? Yes, Ren and Nora's backstory. How like it was Ren who was the brave one who saved Nora, but Ren originally as a child was like, a crybaby. But I wonder really, is he truly this calm person that we know now? This calm, courageous person? Or is that his semblance calming the fear within him? Because the semblance, I see Crazy Native Gamer says stealth semblance. I'm actually thinking it's a type of stealth semblance, yes, but it's a stealth semblance that only works on Grim. Everyone else can see him. It was very obvious. All the other characters saw Ren and Nora during the last fight scene, and when they were kids, like people saw them when he was using his semblance. It's a stealth semblance in a way that it doesn't hide him himself, it hides his emotions. And I kind of have this weird theory that Grimm do not see people; they just see their emotional aura. So it's like it's Ren just being able to 100% hide his emotions and push them deep down, kind of like in Dragon Ball Z, how they hide their power levels and they can't be seen on the Scouters. In this sense, it's almost, if you imagine the Predator from the Predator movies, he sees heat signatures. So Arnold Schwarzenegger hides in the mud to hide his heat signature, and then he can't be seen by the Predator's funky heat vision. This is the same thing I think that Ren has now. If he touches somebody, he can also hide their feelings too, and then they are invisible to the Grim. Zen focus, yes, very similar to a Zen focus, because I really do believe that the way that the way they represented his semblance on screen, it's a dulling of his colors when he does it, and when he touches somebody else, their colors dull too. If you go back and watch, sorry, I don't have like pictures and that all set up because I didn't have time to set that up. I just kind of did this on the random since I had spare time. But like when he grabs Nora to use his semblance on her, it's a dulling of colors, and I believe that that represents a dulling of emotions. I know there's a lot of different theories in that, but that's my theory. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm actually gonna quickly. I wonder what. Let's see what. I'm just gonna open up a web page here and see what other people are saying. It's been a while since I've been to some of my more favored like RWBY boards, like Reddit and that. I'm on the RWBY wiki right now. I wonder if I can just insert that in somehow. Gate. Add. I just want to see if I can get you guys to see stuff too. Browser source. Nope, that's not going to work. Oh well. Can I do window capture? Oh, window capture might work. Hey, there we go. I'm gonna just put that right here. And I'm gonna transition that in. Oh, that was a cut. That wasn't the transition I wanted. I'm gonna take that out. Let's try that again. Here we go. So I'm taking a look at the RWBY wiki, which is a wonderful resource if you don't know stuff. That's how I found out the name of the newest Grim, the Knuckleave, because for the longest time I was just calling the Knuckleave a bloody Black Rider from Lord of the Rings, either that or the Nazgul. But yeah, so RWBY Wiki doesn't have a solid thing either. They just says helps to avoid detection by Grim. So I still believe that it's just something on that affects the Grim. So other people could still see Ren and whoever he affects with a semblance. So yes, still a stealth semblance, but it affects the Grim only, and thus I think means his emotion, since Dr. Ublek lets us know that that's what they feed on. They feed off of our emotion, and negative emotions mostly. Let me jump back into the comments and see what people are asking, because wow, we're up to 17 viewers already. Thank you, everybody. I'm just gonna take a quick peek at that. Let's see here. Okay, so we just talked about Ren. Ren and Nora ship was real. Oh my god, yes, the Ren and Nora ship is so real, and I'm glad that's becoming an actual thing. The whole, like, and near the end of the fight where, oh yeah, guys, spoilers. I hope you've all seen the end of RWBY, but I'm expecting you all have. Near the end of the fight there, where Nora is stuck on the wall just a little bit above Ren, and she's like, "Don't look!" trying to like hold her skirt up. That was so funny because they've pushed so hard that they are like just friends, and I wonder what has changed that now. I wonder, is this maybe just like something that's been there all along, but maybe they were both too kind of, they're young. Like, God, I was so dumb as a teenager when it come to noticing if like if there was a connection with somebody or anything like that. And that's something you don't really get a real good hold on until you're an adult. So I wonder if this is something that they're just kind of growing into, and that's why the relationship is finally maybe blooming now, or maybe she's just teasing him. I'm still either way very interesting to see where that ship ends up in the end. Blake's reconciliation with her father and mother from Chris. I love Blake's parents, especially the dad. The dad, if anybody doesn't know, is actually the same voice actor as the, I forget what his name is, the Allfather, the main villain from Full Metal Alchemist, which puts us up to now 3 Full Metal Alchemist voice actors now in RWBY. Moving on. Do you think he used it on Nora when she was about to have a meltdown at the food vendor stand in Volume 3, Chapter 1? Yes, I remember when Nora starts going into ranting and that. That's a very interesting theory, because it really did seem like she was maybe even having like a small anxiety attack there. And if his ability is to like null emotions, he could be like a walking, talking lorazepam dispenser, just like, and calm down. Just like, and it's time to sleep now. But that would be very interesting if that was one of the ways he could do that. Just trying to catch up with all your questions so far, guys. What's your opinion on Raven's semblance and past, from Nico? Oh my. I actually had this written down a little bit. Let me pop that back open. I have a document still on some of this stuff. Oh yeah, that's a big speech I want to say about later. Sorry, absolutely nothing is organized right now for this. That would have been episode 5, right? I don't think I have any of that written down. I do have ideas. I'm just trying to make sure that I remember all of them before jumping into it. I have something really good on Tyrion. Hello, Inspector. Crow semblance. I'll get into that as well while talking about Raven. I'm just trying to find where I was for that question. Here we go. Your opinion on Raven semblance and past. Nico Lee. Her semblance itself, I'm not exactly sure. It could be those portals. It would very much explain how she just kind of up and left without Ruby and Yang's father um, noticing right away, because the way they kind of describe it is she like disappeared out of thin air, like just gone. And so if it's the portals, then we do have that sort of precedent for her having it back then, with that kind of comment being said by the characters. But it's also a theory of mine that those portals might be a different type of dark power that she's using. It doesn't. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a secondary power and that's not her main power, because we now have confirmed that Crow's semblance is bad luck. He sort of radiates it out like a radiation around him. Like, God, would you get cancer if you stayed around him too long? Because like, just it's some sort of weird like radiated bad luck. I think that's kind of the Scarlet Witch's power in X-Men. I know they make her look to have quite a different power in the Avengers, but her deal is she can change the laws of probability or something like that. So, but sorry, getting back to Crow. See, these are the things that I would cut out if I was making this an actual regular video. His bad luck semblance is pretty cut and dry. You stay too close to him, bad things happen. And maybe not just for the reason that was trying not to give Ruby and her friends bad luck was the reason he was staying away, but he also makes a very good lure, because bad stuff happens to him as well. So if he stays away from the RWBY crew, he acts like a lure that keeps all the Grimm away, not just protecting them by not being around them, causing them to actually trip and fall off of a cliff or something like that. But his bad luck draws in like a magnet the Grimm and that, until, well, they meet up and bad things happen. But we also see that he has that ability to turn into the Crow. Now, this is pretty much like, even though it was hidden very slightly by a building when he landed, it's pretty obvious now that that is also a secondary ability. And secondary abilities seem to be a thing now, because you have Weiss's glyphs, and on top of that, she also now has the summoning. So, in a way, like Naruto, how some ninjas have the ability to have two different elemental abilities, like Sasuke has fire and lightning. Crow's secondary ability must be the Crow transformation, or maybe that is his first and the bad luck is his secondary. So going back to Raven, the portals could be her main one, and then turning into a Raven could be her secondary. But I'd guess it would maybe be her first. I don't know. It's so weird, because it's a very similar semblance for both of them to have as brother and sister. Maybe it's a clan thing, where the clan has that ability to kind of do that. Now, talking about her past, I think I might have mentioned this in another video, but I believe her past is the reason why she left Yang and her father was she found out about the former tribe leader's health, and that he or her had died. And when learning this, and probably knowing that she or Crow were the next in line. I forget who's older, if Crow or her are older, or maybe they're like fraternal twins. I kind of forget. But depending on how it went down, Crow might have known she was leaving. She might have gone to him and said, "Hey, our people need us." And that might have been their last conversation. It might have been the reason why they had sort of the falling out. Like they don't, as Crow said, they don't have the same sort of way of thinking about things. I'm gonna just adjust this real quick. Like I don't even have my like preview up to make sure that like things look okay. I am so sorry. That like, oh my god, that's like pointing weirdly down at me. All right, sorry. So hearing that the chief of their clan is kicked the bucket due to a sense of almost responsibility. This is why I don't think Raven is exactly a bad guy or bad girl, because she has a sense of responsibility to her family, and she goes back to protect them. Like, sure, she abandoned Yang, but she left her in good hands. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on their past. Sorry, that was just a lot of rambling. What's Tyrion's semblance? Now, we all know he's a scorpion faunus, and he was able to poison Crow. Is it possible that the poison is part of his semblance? It could be. Or it just might be a natural part of him being a semblance. A natural part of him being a faunus, I mean to say, and not part of his semblance. It's really hard to tell because he really didn't do too much else. His semblance might just be being crazy. I think I might just go with that. And I have like a little bit like to say on like on Tyrion as well. I loved at the end of their fight with Crow and Tyrion, him just talking to himself over and over again, like, she'll forgive you. Now, is he really saying that to himself? Like, or to Crow? I'm pretty sure he's saying it to himself, like, she'll forgive you, she won't punish me. Or that maybe Salem will forgive RWBY for hurting one of Salem's crew? No, I'm pretty sure he's saying it to himself because the whole like, oh my god, I was expecting her to lay a whooping on Tyrion when he showed back up saying that he didn't get RWBY, and just the whole like her looking down at him saying, "I'm disappointed in you." Oh, it just broke him. It broke him inside, and like there's his real semblance, just being crazy right there, going at like the Grim that Cinder was fighting. He is a special kind of crazy, and I love it. Let's see. Just gonna scroll down and see who's new. Raven. Da, 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 da. I like his insanity as a defense mechanism. Yes. Yes, yeah, I do agree, Nico. Tyrion's poison might be biological, and the semblance is super jump. Yeah, that might be it. Could just be part of his strength too. He might like maybe he just has like how Nora has an enhanced strength. Maybe the crazier he gets, the stronger he gets. They are twins. Oh, thank you, Bad Whale Nikki. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they are fraternal twins. I can't remember. Sorry. I don't have all my notes with me. Well, RWBY teleports via Roses. Yes, that would probably be RWBY's secondary semblance too. I'm going to go back up and grab some of the questions that I've missed. Da, 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 da. Do you think General Ironwood is enacting martial law? Yeah, I believe he really is enacting a type of martial law. Maybe even enacting a type of what's it called? Isolationism? It's where a country isolates themselves from the rest of the world community. God damn it. If anyone knows World War II history, it's what they used to call the Americans back there. They were isolationists. There we go. Sorry, I had to remember history clash there. No offense to Americans or anything like that, but before they joined World War II when Germany first started, they were the Americans were isolationists, which means they didn't want to be part of the war, and a lot of the stuff was done internally. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of countries are like that still to this day. But after Pearl Harbor, they dropped that and joined. I wonder if Ironwood wants to go to that, and that's maybe part of the martial law. He might just be overthinking everything, thinking that like Ozpin's death is his fault, all that jazz. And to kind of see uh Weiss's dad kind of drop down a peg on the ridiculous scale, and Ironwood almost overtake him in that last conversation that Ironwood and Weiss's father there had. It really, like, originally I was just always thinking, oh man, he all he cares about is his corporate money. Like Weiss's father there, I keep forgetting his name. Dang it, I gotta look that up now. It's like Pierre or something like that. Why am I forgetting this? Jacques. Jacques. There we go. Sorry. Jacques Snee. I was always just thinking he was only thinking company first, which he does think only company first a lot. But seeing Ironwood kind of go crazy a little bit like that really kind of puts them almost on the same level of how almost evil they could be. Let's move on down. Da, da, da. RWBY equals new Full Metal Alchemist theory. Crazy native gamers. Oh, the FMA main villain is named Father or Flask in a Glass. Oh, right, because he was a homunculus. Right. Pro semblance. We talked about that. With everyone grouping up, do you think it's going to be rushed or more individual backstory for the next season? I think we're going to get more individualized backstories for next season, mainly because of how ramped up production is now. We are getting the next season of RWBY really quickly. I can't remember the date. If I'm sure somebody in chat knows. Let me look. What's the next? When's the next season coming out? It's real soon. It's not even a full year from the last season ending, isn't it? It's only a few months from now. Unless I heard wrong. Oh, that's the wrong button. Let me... Yeah, the fall of 2017. Yeah, like that's super fast in comparison to the time in between season 3 and 4. Wasn't it even more than a year? It was a little bit more than a year between season 3 and 4. So I think with them ramping up production, and now they have an animation style that they can rely on a bit more, because like, no offense to like Monty or anything like that, but his system was very proprietary, to say the least. It was a very he had a very specific set of skills. He doesn't know where you are, but he will find you and he will animate you. No, but Poser was something that was very difficult to work with, and he was a genius. Monty, that is. He was a genius. Hey, Wham Slam. Monty was a genius for being able to milk every bit of animation power he could out of Poser. Hi, Indigo. Yes, I'm back, but just for streaming, not full videos. So now that they've switched over to Maya or Maya, I can't remember which way to pronounce it. I believe that they'll be able to crank out more RWBY more efficiently, and we'll probably be seeing a long, drawn out series. Like, some people were saying that like the show might have been over in like 6 seasons or something like that, or 8 seasons, like some like mid-range animes. But I really believe this is something that could, God, like hit Red versus Blue levels. Dear God, RWBY. What are we up to now? We're up to... God, how many seasons of Red versus Blue have there been? Like, so much. Wanted to Volume 6, The Return of Ruby. um, doo-doo-doo. But yes, so I do believe there will be more backstories. Let me go back and see some more questions. Yeah, I'm just kind of answering questions, and then I'm gonna go when I know I have like the most amount of people in chat that I'm going to. I'm gonna give my final thoughts on this season and what I think's coming up. But I'm probably gonna wait another 5-10 minutes. I'm just gonna answer questions until then, and then I'll say my final thoughts, and probably answer more questions after that. I'm just gonna go back and look for more questions. Jira is based from the Jungle Book Panther. Oh, and Shere Khan. Oh my god, you just blew my mind with that, Nico. Shere Khan and Jira from the Jungle Book. I just watched a live action of that too. That is amazing. I can't believe I never put that together. Jungle Book, that's great. More questions. She can dilate time too. Yes, Weiss has that ability as well. Inspector who reacts. Do you think Yang was an accident that held back? Oh, I see your correction. Raven in her huntsman training. I don't think so. I don't think so. If she is part of a sort of nomadic tribe, I think that maybe they're used to that. Like, you know, if you think about tribes that still exist today, I'm pretty sure that they would be able to get around handling a kid and still being hunters in some sort of way, and huntresses in this world as well. So I don't think it would have held her back that much. I don't think being a mother would hold her back. Da-da. Just looking at more questions. What do you think about Weiss's father and brother, says Johnny's Taylor. Sorry if I messed up that name, but as you know, I mess up names. I think I think Weiss's father is a no-nonsense businessman, which gives off the impression that he's an asshole. But more and more that I've rewatched it, and I've watched it a couple of times since the ending now, I'm starting to think that he is a man that has taken a legacy upon himself. As Weiss said, he married into the name, Jacques. And I believe that he is just willing to do whatever it takes to uphold that legacy. Now, Weiss's brother. Weiss's brother creeps me the F out. And the reason why is I think he is willing to do anything to please his father. If you guys go back to the videos I did do and you see how they use the parallel lines all the time with Weiss's brother there to kind of make him look as creepy as possible. I really think Whitney has the capability of pretty much playing his own father like a puppet, making us think that Jacques is the villain. And when Jacques no longer useful to Whitley, he'll just stab him in the back, let him topple over, and with Weiss gone, he takes over the Schnee Dust Company. Like I'm pretty sure that Winter no longer has a claim to it. She probably got removed from any sort of will of that when she left for the military. And so I believe that now that Weiss has run away, I believe that's the same thing. Whitley is next in line for the Schnee Dust Company for everything. He's going to inherit it all. My only concern, and this is the wild card, is what's up with the mom? The mom is nowhere to be found. All we know is that she's an alcoholic and she likes to spend her time drinking in the garden. Will she show up too? Maybe be another unfortunate victim of Whitley, or will she go after Weiss and maybe try to tell her what Whitley has done? That's what we're gonna have to wait and see. But I really do see Whitley being somebody to either A, backstab their father, or B, backstab the world, even possibly going as far as joining Salem if the opportunity arises. I don't think he has any power, but like no semblance or anything, but he'll still be a major player. More questions. 14 seasons of Red versus Blue. Yeah, yeah, there we go. That's what I was trying to get at. I really do think that RWBY will probably outlive Red versus Blue, to be quite honest. Dawn's Light 16 says everyone responds to tragedy differently, and Ironwood responds with caution. Him screwing up a beacon means he's not cautious enough and has to bump it up. Yes, yes, I see that. I completely see that, and that's what's causing his isolationism. He's being overly cautious when he doesn't need to be. I think Swarley is quitting RWBY, guys. No, I'm not quitting RWBY. I still love the show and that. It's just I won't be doing videos as I always have been. It's going to be a lot more live streaming like this, but no moving video, no like stills flashing back and forth. This is kind of just off the cuff, but I hope next time I do this, I'm at least going to have proper notes, and we're just going to have live chat conversations like this for each episode. It's a lot easier. It's a lot less stressful. I literally just turn on the camera and go after I've made my notes. That'll be the new way that I do things from now on. All right, moving on. Indigo asks, thoughts on the rest of the fight scenes? I know I said I didn't like too many of the first fight scenes because there was giant monsters in that. From Tyrion on, the fights were amazing. The fight with Tyrion, just frantic. That's the main word I have to explain that fight. It was so frantic and fast paced. It was wonderful. It's the fight scene that I always wanted from this season. It was great. Wow. The fight with the trying to remember his name again. The Knuckleave. I don't think that's his official name, but the Black Rider, the Nazgul type guy. That was a perfect sort of end boss fight for the end of the season. It really did put a nice cherry on top and really tied in the flashbacks with Ren and Nora and helped tie up that little story arc with them. Finishing off the Knuckleave meant the end of a chapter, not just for the season, but for Ren and Nora at the same time. I thought that was the perfect way to do that. Kira Kabuki says, am I the only one concerned that Weiss's butler has a double motive? It depends which one of his personalities has a different motive, because it's quite possible, because if he is a representation of all seven dwarfs, what if Grumpy has a different motive than Sneezy or Doc? That's very possible. Bob the Sexy Fish says, is it just me or did RWBY not use the school setting to its fullest? I think it did. I really think it did. And that's what I'm going to talk about at my final thoughts. But I believe this season was more about traveling and that. We might see more of the school as they try to find the relic or as they go back to maybe Oobleck and Professor Port and Glinda trying to clean up. Maybe even a new generation of students. As things go on, we could hit a point where there's even another time skip or that RWBY and the others head back to Beacon, maybe to talk to the new headmaster, the new like I'm kind of wondering if Ozpin, the new Ozpin, um, sorry, I'm just trying to think. Oscar. I wonder if Oscar will take over as a headmaster or if he'll just do Ozpin's sort of guardian, like protecting the world stuff. It's a real interesting question. My thought is that Glinda will actually take over as headmaster, but Oscar will still assist Ozpin or be Ozpin for just the sort of guardianship as we find out what that entails, because we still don't know Ozpin's past. We just know of his ability to jump into new people. Swarley, how many volumes do you think it will take before we see Vacuo? Vacuo? Oh, geez. Possibly season 5, like near the very end. It'll be like them leaving Mistral and going to Vacuo, or season midway through season 6, beginning of season 6. I do not think we're actually going to see Ironwood or Atlas at all. Am I getting my continents mixed up? Yeah, Atlas. Sorry. I don't think we'll be seeing Atlas for a little bit still, because Weiss has left Atlas. So there's not too much reason for us to go there as viewers unless we see what's going on with Ironwood. I can see us being there as viewers, but I don't see Team RWBY going there for a bit still. Nico says, Swarley, just call him Papa Snee or Donald Snee. Oh my God, Donald Snee. You know, if you mix Papa Snee and Ironwood as he is now, like super cautious, like everyone's a terrorist sort of Ironwood, you get Donald Snee then. But only when Ironwood's acting crazy. Da-da-da. Nicholas is alive too. Mm-hmm. Mama Snee is broken. Yes, Mama Snee is very broken. Mama Snee needs to go to rehab. Wham Slam says, Weiss's brother, I feel like I could knock him down with an exhale of carbon dioxide. Yep. Thoughts on the rest of the fights? I just did that. Hawk Hero asks, do you think the characters will continue to age? I think it'll be at least another 3 seasons before we see any sort of time jump. More than like 3 or 4 months. I see a time jump happening where it'll be several years, because this really does feel like it's going to be a story that takes that long. Possibly even when they make their way to Vacuo or another country, or maybe they think they've defeated Salem when I believe my theory with Salem is that she's actually like a type of ghost or demon that inhabits other people's bodies. So they think they defeat Salem, but she inhabits a new body, and then a few years later they've got to repeat this whole process again. I think that's another possibility too, for a time jump. But yes, I do believe that they will age. Could you see a scene where the two are next to each other and Weiss sees the connection? Oh, for Klein. I don't know. That's a very good question. I'd have to think about that. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to come back to that question later. What's your opinion on how they are running the White Fang storyline? I like where it's going now. I didn't like the White Stallion, the White Fang storyline for a while. That was when I really disliked it when it was the emo ninja Blake. If you guys remember when I made that video with emo Sasuke, I just kind of felt like it was there to make Blake sad, and that was the whole point of it. But now you get these like, oh my god, the acolytes, Fennekin and his brother there, those foxy bastards. I really enjoyed that. How it is actually this one side of the coin. They are for the people. They are for the Faunus people. But this other side of the coin, this sort of broken off shadow sect of it, has now become the more well-known part of the White Fang to the world, and but the Faunus all think, oh, they're just good guys. They're like the local church group, and now like Gira is now finally seeing what they are becoming now that Blake's come home. I really think that's great. I really think hopefully that story is going to keep becoming more and more almost mysterious, because I'm very, very curious to see what these new characters are capable of. Not just like powers and that, but what they're capable of in being deceitful, in being conniving. Glinda Wood forever. Oh yes, yes. Come on, Ironwood and Glinda. That's definitely got to be a ship that happens. Who's going to be the new voice for Glinda? Oh, that's a very good question. That I'd be interested to see. They might. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I don't know. I'm not getting into behind the scenes stuff anymore. He'd be the worst headmaster. Yes, Oscar would be a horrible headmaster. Ozpin's a Highlander, maybe. Where's Winter? Winter's probably on assignment from Ironwood. I believe Winter is Ironwood's version of Crow. And this is probably why Crow and Winter butt head to head. Ozpin uses Crow for reconnaissance and sending him out into the world, and I believe that's what Ironwood does with Winter. So that's for you, Dawn's Light. Stoic Drug says, sup nerds, sup Stoic. Where in Mistral? Don't know. Oh, undercover in black market for all we know. Yeah, that'd be very interesting if we saw Winter when inside of the kingdom of Mistral, wandering around the marketplace. Monty said he would like to see Team RWBY in their 30s and 40s. Yes, that would be great. At least their 20s, at the very least. Hey Lance, dude, what's up? It's been a while. I know. I'm sorry it's been so long. We're up to 20 viewers. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. I've only got an hour left before I've got to jet and go and do something else, but we're going to keep answering questions, and I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts since we have more and more people showing up. If down the line, like way down the line, who do you think would hook up, and who do you think the Descendants would look like? Just one sec. I'll be right back, guys. Hey guys, I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. Sorry, we had computer issues in the other room. I just gotta make sure my speakers are on. Okay, there we go. We are live. We are back. Sorry, where was I? If down the line, you think what would the Descendants look like? That's very hard to say. I have a hard time even kind of making like visioning like OCs, like original characters in my head. So I just think it would be like the kind of generic, like, a little bit like one kid would look like Nora, one kid would look like Ren, like, and mix it up. Like, let's say Nora and Ren had like a son and a daughter. Like, maybe like the son would look like Nora and then the daughter would look like Ren. Like, they'd mix it up somehow. Mm-mm. Chair cam. um, okay, I'll continue watching Samurai Jack. Oh my god, I can't wait till that comes back. Weiss and Neptune, maybe. Oh, Samurai Jack premiered today. Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch that later. Hmm. What do you think Crow drinks, bourbon or whiskey? Why not both? Will Ruby ever master her silver eye power? Yes, definitely yes. But they're gonna throw things at her that are not affected by the silver eye power. I don't think regular people are affected by the silver eye power. Like her Salem sending Tyrion after Ruby, that was a tactical move because people, faunus, humans, aren't affected by silver eye power, not nearly as much as Grimm are. I believe that they can affect them, like maybe freeze somebody for a little bit or something like that, but I don't think it fully affects them. The reason why it hurt um, Cinder so much is because Cinder has a Grimm inside of her. That's how she stole the maiden's power. Or Silver Eyes actually get like are actually strong against maidens. It's one of those two things. Okay, we're finally caught up with chat. Um, Silver Eye versus Sharingan. Until we know what Silver Eyes do, I'm saying Sharingan. Okay. Just hopping back into. What are Crow's alcoholic levels? American, Scottish, or Australian? Hybrid of Scottish and Australian. Like the two of them combined. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Ruby became jaded. Like war does that to anybody, and I believe that like we still had like a laughing session from Ruby when she saw Jean's sweater. It was still nice to see that that sort of stuff is still there, but I do believe that that kind of stuff is slowly gonna peter down as she gets more and more into war. But it'll come back as she stops fighting a bit. I have to show you guys something. This is what I had to stop for. I have I have a cosplayer hiding, getting ready for a convention we have. That's Horo from Spice and Wolf. That is my waifu. I'm gonna help her with a stream later. Sorry, I probably was just showing off there, but she's just been getting ready and she was messing around on her laptop earlier and couldn't get it to work. Sorry, where were we? Oh, let me fix my camera there. There we go. Sorry, I lost my spot. Who could eat the most food? Nora, especially if they were pancakes. If you had plates and plates of pancakes, Nora would eat the most. If it was other food, like pumpkin peach cereal, Jean might win. Do you think we will learn anything about Grimm birth biology? Yes, and I think we will learn it soon. Seeing the spawning pools, episode 1 of volume 4, that was like a big eye opener for me, and them kind of teasing that, I think, was just like brilliant. I think that's I really do think that's going to be something that get over there. Sorry, I'm just moving my chat around. I think that's going to be something that really becomes part of the mythos and lore. I'm going to just kind of try something here real quick, just for shits and giggles. Okay, I'm trusting you guys. Now, can we even see that? Does that show up? Hmm. I completely messed that up. Let me bring that back over. There we go. Now you guys can. Okay, no, screw it. Screw it. I'm not doing it. Sorry. Sorry, I'm just messing around with stuff when I shouldn't be. All right, let's keep on going. Do you think Ruby will die in the end like Summer? It's a possibility. Um, Ruby or Crow. Crow already had a very close call, but Ruby does seem like somebody who is willing to sacrifice herself for the greater good. For the greater good. Um, so I really do see that being a possibility. We really could have Ruby pulling like a self-sacrifice near the end. Da da da. I lost my spot again. I'd like to know your opinion from Dekire. Uh, when Crow was poisoned and slightly unconscious, he started mumbling, "She's gone, Ty." Do you think this has to do with Raven, Summer, or someone else? Summer. And the reason why I believe it's Summer is the same reason why he was so careful to keep away from Ruby and her friends during their travels in Volume 4. Not even then, but just when Ruby was growing up, Crow was always somebody that just happened to be there when they needed it. Only when Ruby was in trouble, or only when Ruby needed training. For small spurts, for small portions of time, Uncle Crow was there for Ruby. Remembering, if we go back to um, Yang's story about, we go into Yang's story um, about when she was young, that she was telling Blake, and how she took Ruby in that little red wagon trying to find her mother, and him coming to save the day. In the end, he just happened to be there. He just happened to be there, huh? I think that means that he's always been kind of there watching over them, and sort of just always there in the background, really. Yeah, I'm trying to help you guys out so you can tell where we are in chat. Is that viewable? Is that, can you guys see that chat okay? Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm hoping this helps you guys figure out where I am, because there is such like a delay between what you guys say and what I see, or what you know what I mean. I'm just gonna make that a little bit smaller. I just gotta bring it back over here. It doesn't let me edit it on that side of OBS for some reason. There we go. Let's bring that back over there. But the font's small. Here, let's see if I can bring that up. Okay, here we go. Where were we? Who could eat the most food? Sorry, I've lost track again. Here we go. Will Ruby die at the end? Here we go. Yeah, she's gone, Ty. That was what we were last on. Now we are on. What if the wizard is the dark god and he created the maidens as well as the Grimm, and God of Light created silver-eyed warriors? It's very possible that that could be a thing. Maybe not a dark god, but a god of chaos who enjoys seeing people fight. That would be a good way to cause conflict by doing that. So yeah, that's very possible. Inspector Who Reacts. Who would win, Ruby or Wizard? Right now, probably Wizard. Once Ruby has her full silver eyes, I think maybe she could win, possibly, if the Wizard is maybe this god of chaos that we were just talking about. Wham Slam says, Swarley, will Crow ever find the Philosopher's Stone? It depends. If Julian from Flash comes back and realizes that he is the wizard that he was always meant to be from Slytherin, yes, he will help Crow find the Philosopher's Stone. Hope you guys watch Flash so you can get that. Nico asks, do you have an OC? I talked about this once with podcast guys before. I have one that's kind of junior-like. I used like a rocket hammer, much like Reinhardt from Overwatch. I don't have a backstory. I just really like that weapon, and I see myself using that. Grim or constructs? Yes. Andrew, a lot of people think Cinder has a chance for redemption. I personally don't. What do you think? I think Ruby's going to try to give her redemption, and I think she's going to have many chances. In the end, I don't think she'll have redemption. I do think she will betray Salem, but I don't think she will come for true redemption. I think she'll try to steal Salem's power, because that's who Cinder is. She starves for power, and I think it's that that need, that like want for power, that's going to be her end in the end. Do you think silver-eyed warriors were hunted down, or did they just decrease with birth rates in modern times? I think they were hunted down, and I think they were hunted down by a lot of Salem's crew. They talked about that during the meeting. I forget which character it was. It was the bigger guy that helped Oscar get his train ticket. He said, we have dealt with their kind in the past. And that goes back to my theory that the silver eyes only affect the Grimm. And that's why Salem employs these humans, Infonuses, these real people, not Grimm, to fight for her, because Grimm can't do everything for them. Andrew asks, pancakes or waffles? Pancakes. I'm gonna quickly check the bottom, see what people are saying. Okay. Cinder will be redeemed by Emerald, and they'll be an awesome battle, lesbians forever. I do see Emerald getting redemption. You can already tell right now, like, she sees what's going on and she believes it's wrong. I'm not really sure if Emerald will truly fully be redeemed. I think Emerald is, a lot of it is self-preservation, and that's what this has been for her all along. She might be redeemed just for simply the fact that she's trying to save her own skin. But you do have a lot of looks on her face right now that kind of makes it seem like she knows what's going on is wrong. So yeah, I do see redemption from her, but not Cinder. Oh, sorry if it's buffering. We only have about 20 minutes left, guys, so I'm going to quickly answer questions up to Nico's last thing here, and then I'm going to say my final words, and that's going to be the end of it. But I am going to do more streams like this, where we're just going to have more question and answer, and I think I'm going to play the RWBY Grim Eclipse a bit on YouTube as well. I'm also going to be on my uh, bleh, my Twitch. I play a lot of video games on Twitch, so come check me out over there. Twitch.tv/SwarleyU. But okay, I'm gonna answer these last few questions, and then I'm gonna say my final words on the end of the season, and we're gonna call it the night, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let's answer these last few questions, and I'm gonna work up from Nico's last bit here. Hazel, thank you. Thank you. I keep forgetting these people. I don't have my notes. This is how bad I am. I'm very forgetful. This is how I mispronounce people's names all the time, too, because I'm not always reading their names. I just kind of wing it. If I have their name in front of me and I can read it, I get it just like that. Okay, here we go. For future questions, do you prefer plain text or at Swarley Underhill? Either or. The at Swarley Underhill helps me see it, so I don't lose my place as often, but either way is fine. I try my best to get them all. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm way behind. I'm going to work my way up to that point. Where was I? Message retracted. Uh-oh. Sorry about the buffering, guys. I hope you're not buffering anymore. What are the chances of Ruby, Weiss, Yang, and Ruby, Weiss, Yang, and Blake becoming the maidens? I see it as a possibility. It would be a great sort of Power Rangers, Sailor Moon moment. All of them with like giant beam blasts, blast them at the big bad. Whether the big bad really is Salem, because I don't think Salem is the last bad guy. But I do see that as a possibility. I really do. Or them joining with the maidens in one way or the other, like the way they originally intended Pyrrha to join with the Fall Maiden. Shipping, more shipping stuff. Who smells the worst after the journey from Team Ranger? Jean. He's been wearing that sweater since season 1. Crow hasn't healed yet. The greater good. Yarp. Do you think Jean could ever be forced to kill somebody, and what would that do to his character? Yes, I 100% see him being the one to kill Cinder. I don't actually think Ruby would do it. I think it will be Jean. Ruby's main battle will be with Salem, and then it'll be all of Team Ruby and possibly Team Juniper fighting against whoever the big bad is after Salem, the god of darkness, the god of chaos, whoever. I even see it being, again, going back to like the whole Sailor Moon or Power Rangers thing, Ruby herself in a physical form and like the ghosts of everyone else, like them sending their auras, like send me your energy, spirit bomb sort of moment, or the spirits of them all like going on Ruby's hands as she's trying to like deflect a blast with the Crescent Rose or something like that. Sorry, I love my beam battles like Dragon Ball Z or anime sort of crap. Why don't you think Nora doesn't wear pants? Because she rocks the skirt so well. I don't know. Personal preference. I probably believe it's probably for all of them. Like Pyrrha had a skirt, I believe it's called, where it's like shorts built into a skirt. What did they call them? Battle skirts. He was originally going to cause Pierre's death. I think he did. Dawn's Light. I actually think Jean is partially responsible. Not in a bad way, but Pyrrha really felt that she was protecting Jean. So I really do think that in a way he did cause it. If Jean wasn't there, Pyrrha would not have opened up as much as she did, and she wouldn't have cared for the people in Beacon as much as she did when it came time for that final battle where she was going to die. Thank you all for putting up with me messing around with chat and that. Did you see Dragon Ball Super? Opinions. Should I watch since 17 and 18? will fight. Yes, I am so hyped to see Android 17 and 18 in Dragon Ball Super. Uh, Come over to my Twitch stream or my gaming streams, and we'll talk more about Dragon Ball Super. I'm just gonna go on with RWBY stuff, but yes, I've been loving Dragon Ball Super so far. Is Salem a descendant of the Dark God? Possibly, but I just see her as a lackey right now. What if RWBY has to kill Osman? I don't see that happening. If Vader can redeem, then Cinder might. Maybe. I don't know. Cinder is a bit more drawn to power than Vader. Vader had ulterior motives for having power, where Cinder just wants power for power's sake. Okay, I think we are pretty much caught up. Okay. All right, I see everyone else. I don't see too many other questions underneath. So, all right, I think this is the time where I am going to say my final thoughts and call it a night, everybody. Again, thank you, everybody who has shown up. It is so great that I can take a break like I have and even kind of change up the formula as much as I have, and have so many of you show up for a live broadcast. Like, I've got 20 people watching right now, and that's so hard for just a live broadcast. I've been trying to stream on Twitch whenever I have like spare time, and I get maybe 4 or 5 people. But all right, time for final thoughts before people start leaving. Let me just hunt that down. Here we go. These are my final thoughts for RWBY thus far. And I'm going to have to compare it. And I know I do these comparisons a lot. Before, I used to compare the first few seasons of RWBY to Harry Potter. A lot of the school stuff. And it's very much is like that, because if you think about the first few Harry Potter movies, they were very centralized in the school, and then they moved on to outside the school. But it was still very centric to the school, even though they left and went to Godric's Hollow, and they went to the Ministry of Magic, and that it always rotated around the school. I don't think that RWBY's going to go that way anymore. I've got to more compare it to Tolkien's world, Middle Earth, and The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. And the way I can explain this, and I'm going to read a little bit of my notes here that I wrote down. Now that I think of it, the first 3 seasons of RWBY are The Hobbit. It's just a series of adventures that the team had, and they just happened to stumble upon the beginnings of a greater scheme. Just like how Bilbo stumbles upon the ring, which kind of triggers the whole Lord of the Rings. And this is, like, again, the first 3 seasons are RWBY's crew kind of stumbling upon Salem's machinations through what the White Fang were doing and all that jazz. Now, Volume 4, to get into that, Volume 4 is now the first half of the Fellowship of the Ring. They stopped at the Prancing Pony, the hotel, and then were waylaid by some enemy Nazgul and Dark Riders. And it's almost a little more of a literal adaptation, if you think of it, for the first half of Fellowship of the Rings. Harry Potter, sorry. So that's sort of my thought of it. That going back to when I was asked that how long I think this is going to go on. If you think of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, a lot of people think that that's a 4-book series. Well, no, The Hobbit itself was actually originally 1 book, yes, but The Lord of the Rings is actually, I think, somewhere between 6 to 8 books, and the books we have now that are the 3 main books are actually those compressed down. If you do look into it, it is like a longer story. And I think that's what we're getting here. This is going to be such an epic story. And God, like, what really triggered it in my mind was the Dark Rider Grimm, the Knuckleave Grimm. I love how they're using this more demonic, like, Nazgul base for the Grimm, and not just the basic animals that they were before. And it really kind of shows how deep and how like it's like a texture, like a deep texture that you could feel with your fingers on an oil painting from Bob Ross. It's just a happy little bush here. I'm gonna draw a Grimm behind that. There's just so many layers to it that I really can't describe how much I am looking forward to more. And then the very ending, like after the fight with the Knuckleave Grimm, they finally end up in the kingdom of Mistral, which is basically Frodo and the others arriving in Rivendell. Like the same sort of like wide opening and them going into it. It's just, it was beautiful. And the letter, oh my God, the letter. The letter was so great and a perfect way to kind of tie up the last bit of that episode and last bit of the series. Sorry if I was kind of on a tangent there. Thank you all for watching. That's it for me for now. I'm gonna come back and do more Q&As and just shooting the shit and stuff like that. Just expect a lot more live streams like this. Don't expect any more rambling rant reviews. That won't happen anymore, but I hopefully will find some time to do more profiles. I really want to update the Ren profile and maybe start on a Jean one, or even update RWBY's as well. So until then, thank you everybody for being here again. Come visit me on twitch.tv/Swarley. That's where I play some video games. Feel free to ask me about RWBY stuff there, but also feel free to ask me about other stuff. I do watch other shows like Dragon Ball Super, Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Supernatural, lots of different anime, pretty much anything that's on Crunchyroll. So until then, good night, everybody.